Nigeria, but if we don't take the right steps, we may not have them anymore. Here's today's big hard fact. There are less than 100 gorillas left in Nigeria. Can you imagine that? Less than 100. They're now at the brink of extinction, but all hope isn't lost. Gorillas in Nigeria can still be saved. I think that this is an important matter, but perhaps you don't agree that it is important, and you're asking me, okay, well, Sandra, why should I care about gorillas? There's flooding in the nation, and that's fair. And that's also part of what my guest today will be answering. My guest is from Wild Aid, Dr. Marco Fua. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Thank you very much, Sandra. It's a pleasure to be here.
Lagos, we also want to hear from you. What questions do you have about gorillas in Nigeria? What questions do you have about Wild Aid's efforts to save these gorillas in Nigeria? But before you start to call us, first of all, let's even know who Wild Aid is, what Wild Aid does, what's your mission, what types of actions and interventions and actions do you take to achieve your mission?
Okay, Wild Aid is a non-governmental organization, and we are concerned primarily about the environment. We are focused on wildlife, but also the plants, because the forests is the home for wildlife, so you can't separate
Right,
them.
you can separate, yeah.
So our major campaign focus is on enlightenment, because we believe the negative action, the destructive action of people, it stems from not knowing any better.
Okay.
So we try to get people to know more about the environment and what they are doing against themselves in hurting the environment. I like giving a very quick picture. When you wake up in the morning, you clean yourself up, you clean your room up, clean your house, take all the trash and you throw outside. But it does not really impinge on us that the outside you threw the trash is your bigger home and we're in it. So most of our activities is deleterious and we're the ones that suffer, but we usually do not draw the link. So that's where Wild Aid come. We tell you that, look, we love these animals. We want to save the animals. But the aim, the real focus is humanity. In saving these animals, we are saving humanity
as well.
Yes.
Wow, I love that. Okay. All right, let's talk about gorillas. How does saving gorillas save humanity?
Very interesting. I'm happy this discourse is coming at this point in time, where the fear at the back of everybody's mind. Lagosians a bit less, but outside Lagos more, floods. You mentioned it.
Yeah.
We won't see a direct link between gorillas and the floods.
Okay.
There is no direct link, so why?
Not obvious to me.
Yes, but
okay.
the fear of the flood. The other day I was thinking, do I have to buy a little canoe in my compound so that the day it floods in Lagos, because there are predictions.
Yes.
Then I will have something to. Now gorillas, they occupy the forest regions. They're found in the equatorial Africa.
Okay.
Separated by the Congo Basin. Now this forest, this particular type, the area of forest, is regarded as the lungs of the planet. Not the lungs of Nigeria, not the lungs of Africa, but the lungs of the planet. So as we are decimating and destroying the forest, just imagine a human with a lung disease. The human won't be complete again. So you see some of these natural disasters occurring in different parts of the world as a result of our inordinate relationship with our forests. So you see the direct link.
Yeah.
Now we're decimating the gorillas. What is the function of the gorillas? These gorillas are like the guardians of the forests.
Okay.
Their activities ensure the survival of the forest.
Okay.
So, so many ways. First of all, they feed on fruits. They help seed dispersal.
Okay.
They eat in point A, travel kilometers to point B, and they poop.
Plant. Oh.
They poop.
Okay.
Now, it will interest you to note that there are some plants that the seed would only grow if it has gone through the guts of an ape.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Like what plant? Can you give me an example?
Several. So many of the forest plants.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So if you take the
But
seeds,
are forest plants important? Do we use forest plants?
Just give me a second.
Okay.
Now, if you take of the seeds of this plant and you put in the soil, it won't grow until it goes through the processing of the gut of an ape.
Now,
imagine the gorillas are disappearing. It means this particular plants are disappearing.
Right.
And these plants make up the biome of forest.
Okay.
So this forest is dying.
Okay.
And now those plants are not able to do the function, the lung function. They clean up the air. They take up carbon from the air and give us clean oxygen to breathe. Now the forest is not able to do its function
Anymore.
coupled with global warming and everything.
Right.
Then you see flooding. Then you see natural disasters. There are going to be many more natural disasters. I'm not being a prophet of doom.
Of course.
I am telling you the fact as it is.
Yeah.
It is because of our inordinate relationship with our environment.
Where can we find gorillas in Nigeria? I don't think I've ever seen a gorilla in Nigeria.
It's sad. I'm sure when you mention gorillas in Nigeria, a lot of your audience they
Were like,
gasped, yes, because it's sad that we're losing our gorillas. You were right when you said there are less than 100 left in Nigeria. And the interesting thing is we have a unique species of gorilla
Okay.
known as a cross river gorilla.
Okay.
It's not found anywhere else in the world
I see.
apart from Nigeria.
Oh my gosh.
And the border we share with Cameroon.
Okay.
So that's where you find this species of gorillas.
Okay.
In total,
Why are they
about-
called Cross River?
because that's where they were first discovered.
I see.
And that's the only place they are found.
So Cross River for like Cross River Calabar.
Yes, yes,
Ah,
yes.
I see.
yes.
Okay.
So something was named after Nigeria. So we have about 100 in Nigeria, about 200 in Calabar, in Cameroon,
Cameroon. Okay.
across the border.
Okay.
And that's the only place they are found
Okay.
everywhere in the world.
Okay.
So you find out that these gorillas, they are highly endangered. They are actually listed as critically
Endangered.
endangered.
Can I ask something before we move even further? How is a Cross River gorilla different from a gorilla you find anywhere else in the world?
Oh, well, gorillas are found only in Africa.
Okay.
So it's in Western Africa
Okay.
and
See, I didn't even
the
know
eastern
that.
part.
I
Yes.
didn't even know that gorillas are found
Only.
only in Africa.
Only in just western and eastern part of
Africa,
Yes,
okay.
in Congo Basin and then in Western Africa.
I see.
Only
Okay.
in the
Okay.
world.
Okay.
So these gorillas, they are unique and their DNA is what actually differentiates them.
Okay.
The DNA and then some physical features.
Okay.
The fur of the Cross River gorilla is denser
Okay.
and they are more compact and smaller than their eastern cousins.
Okay. Because they are suffering. Okay. All right then. So you were saying that there are currently 100 gorillas in
Yes.
Nigeria at most. At their peak population, how many were they?
Oh, we had hundreds of thousands. Yes. It will interest you to know. Now, we said the Cross River gorilla remains about 300, and then we have about 1,000 in the Congo. The highest concentration of gorillas is actually in Western Africa,
Okay.
the lowland gorillas,
Okay.
and the number about 100,000.
Okay.
And they survived this much
Okay.
because they were secluded
Okay.
by their habitats
Okay.
from human activities.
Okay.
You understand? So
Okay.
hunters, loggers, poachers, everybody couldn't go there.
Okay.
They were only recently discovered,
Okay.
and they numbered in about 100,000.
Okay.
So that tells you that the Cross River gorilla that is remaining 300 once were in that number.
As well.
But
yeah.
because of our activities, we have decimated them.
What happened to them? What activities decimated them? What are the factors behind their depleting population?
The first major problem these gorillas have is habitat loss.
Okay. When you say habitat loss, what do you mean?
Their forests are disappearing.
Why are they disappearing?
So many things, so many factors. First of all, agriculture. Instead of us look for smarter ways to use the land we have, we go for more land.
Okay.
Society is evolving and getting bigger. Instead of looking for smarter ways of building houses and maybe doing skyscrapers and all, we clear more land. So that is decimating their forest. That is one,
Okay.
on one hand. Then you have illegal logging.
Okay.
Which
What is
is-
illegal logging?
Loggers going deep
Who
into
are
the
loggers?
forest.
Who are loggers?
People that want timber.
Okay.
Okay, they want forest products, timber basically.
Okay.
And in Nigeria, there is a particular timber that is highly priced.
Okay.
It's highly priced.
Okay.
Now, it's illegal because these plants are protected by law.
I see. In Nigeria?
Yes, in Nigeria.
Wow. I didn't know that.
So
Oh my.
it's
We have
illegal.
laws protecting
yes.
plants in Nigeria?
Nigeria has very beautiful sets of laws.
My goodness.
The
okay.
problem will make you laugh. The problem is enforcement. So these illegal loggers, they go into the forest to get this. I mean, the bigger the wood, the better. So to get big ones, you have to go deeper. and this is decimating the habitat of the gorilla.
Right.
But that is just on one side. Now, the tracks they make into the forest provides routes for hunters and poachers to go deeper into the forest
And
to get these
them.
animals. Bushmeat, a gorilla, an adult silverback or adult male gorilla weighs about 200 kg.
Okay.
So that is some really serious bushmeat.
People eat gorillas?
Oh, yes. It's in the
Ugh.
bushmeat menu.
Okay.
So that is another
Do they
thing.
know it's gorilla when they
Oh,
eat it?
yes.
Wow.
And the interesting thing is it's an elitist taste.
So it's not
the
even poor people eating
No.
it. I see.
Poor people don't eat bushmeat. I keep saying that. People say, oh, it's poverty that is driving the bushmeat trade. I say poor people don't eat bushmeat.
Because bushmeat is very expensive.
The cheapest
Yeah.
bushmeat is the grass cutter. And one grass cutter sells for about 5 chickens. The same exchange. So he would rather sell the grass cutter and buy 5 chicken that has more flesh for his family. So it's an elitist urban
And it
taste.
doesn't even have a lot of meat on it.
No, it doesn't.
The bushmeat doesn't have a lot of
No,
meat on it.
no.
Yeah.
So it's an elitist urban trade that is driving the bushmeat trade.
I see.
Yes.
So rich people are the problem.
They are the problem. Yes. Yes. It's just
Okay, so we've talked about people who are looking for the rosewood,
Yes.
going into their habitat, and then the tracks they're making, giving road for
hunters and
poachers and
poachers.
hunters. What
Yes.
other factors exist?
Then also mineral mining.
Okay,
Lots of mineral. There's this particular mineral, coltan,
okay.
that is used for making our cell phones, computers, laptops, and gadgets.
I see.
That is mined from the forest.
I see.
So first of all, they will clear the area
to be able to mine.
mine. Then they'll build camps, and then they feed the campers with the bushmeat.
Oh my.
So they hunt these gorillas and other animals to feed the campers, and this decimates the gorillas. Now, that is just on one hand. The hunters also, most hunters, let me put it this way, most hunters don't go into the forest for gorillas, but they go there to set snares to catch antelopes, bush pig, monkeys, and all that. These snares do not have the memo that, please just
don't catch gorillas.
So
Just
you
catches
get
anyone.
these gorillas being ensnared. It's a major. You see gorillas in the forest lose it without an arm, without one very sad story. A baby gorilla was trapped in a snare, and the mother stayed with the baby, and then the mother. So it's usually that. And then the pet trade. When you see a gorilla baby in the pet trade, just envisage about 3, 4, 5 dead adults because they won't give you their baby. So what happens?
So when
most
you
of the
say
time-
pet trade, as in people who buy them to use as pets.
Yes, illegal pet trade. Yes,
okay.
it fetches quite some amount if you can sell it outside the country and all that.
Okay.
So these are the factors that are driving the extinction of our gorillas.
Oh my, Lagos! You guys know I love animals, and so I'm hearing that the mother of a gorilla was killed, and my heart is just breaking. To be honest with you, okay. So now there are very few people like me and very few people like you.
Yeah.
Why do we need to care about this thing that you're talking about? Because when you were talking about the rosewood, for instance, and people, clearing land to build more houses, live on more places, have a bit more farmlands. I mean, on the Big Three today, I was talking about a lot of farmlands currently underwater as a result of the flooding. People need to eat. People need somewhere to live. That's why they need the wood, they need the land, etc., etc.
Yes.
And I have people who are listening to me right now who are saying, well, living somewhere, feeding off of my farms, that's more important than the life of a gorilla. So why should I care about gorillas? My life is more important than the life of a gorilla. That's what they will say. I don't think so, but that's what they would say.
Yes.
To that, what do you say?
Now, when you now see that the demise of the gorilla is a direct threat to your life, you would want to reconsider your position.
How?
Now, I hear people telling me that, you're even more direct. People say, bushmeat is cultural, it's traditional, it's in our culture, we have to eat. I'm very quick to tell them, killing of twins was cultural, human sacrifices was cultural. But when we saw that this culture was inimical to our survival, it's threatening our lifestyle. Oh, we didn't kill the gorillas. But by the time you now see that if the gorillas go, the forest dies, natural disaster is more, flooding is more. You now want to do a rethink because your survival is dependent on theirs. We nature we don't need acquaintance happens. Mother Nature is a very gentle mother, but when aroused, she can be very fearsome. So if we continue pushing nature to the brink. When it explodes and do a U-turn, we can't stand it.
We really can't.
COVID-19 silenced the world. Western, Eastern, Southern,
Everybody
everywhere.
leveled us.
We were silent with fear. You know, so we have to now start rethinking our stands and our status. When we see that these activities are really against our survival, then we should start making stands to reverse it. If not, we are the ones that will go thinking it was smart.
Okay, well, it's a good thing I'm asking you this question, because we have lots of people right now who are asking, what is the use of gorilla in this country? Why do we need them?
Let me tell you another part. Very interesting. Now, what is our major foreign exchange earner?
Dollars.
Yes.
Oil.
Oil. We are so focused on the oil that we do not see other resources that we have.
True.
Meanwhile, ecotourism in countries like Uganda, Rwanda, South Africa, Kenya, factors for a major part of their foreign exchange earnings.
Ecotourism.
Yes.
Okay, so for
Now,
those who don't know what it is, what is it?
Okay, money made from tourists coming into the country to look at your nature. You're not spending a dime. You're not producing. You're just keeping it for them to come and look. They pay and they go. Now, let me bring it to the subject. A gorilla walk in Rwanda, 1 hour, Sandra, 1 hour in the forest to look at gorillas cost about $1,500
For 1 hour.
for 1 hour.
$1,500 right now, depending on which exchange rate you're using, is over $1 million naira
Yes.
now, right
Yes,
now, if
yes.
it's black market rate.
Yes,
Because dollar is over 700 naira right now.
absolutely.
1,500
1 hour.
for 1 hour
Now you're not going to
for one person.
for one person. You're not
So
going
there's
to
three
hold
of us in this studio right now, and we could be making what, $4,500 an hour
an hour.
just for people to come and look at
Look
gorilla.
at gorillas. Now the gorillas are not in a cage.
They're just running free,
They're in their
minding their
forest.
business, living
So
their
if
life.
you are unfortunate and they decide to be sleeping in your 1 hour,
Now you sabi,
it's gone.
but you have sharp paid the
You've
money.
sharp paid and you will leave because you're just walking on a path.
You wake them up. Oh.
you're just, and let me tell you, let me give you the catch.
Yeah.
They are fully booked for up to 3 months ahead.
Are you serious?
Yes, fully booked.
In
for up-
countries like Uganda and
yes,
Kenya,
Yes, for 3 months. So you have to book from 3-4 months ahead
just to come and look at gorilla.
just to look at the gorillas. So you can see what we are losing. And then when these tourists come, apart from the money they pay, when they come, they stay with the local community.
That's right. They stay in hotels.
They stay in hotels around.
That's
They
right.
buy artifacts and whatnot from the local communities.
So it trickles down.
It trickles down. You see, you've brought earnings to the local community. Electricity gets to them. Infrastructure gets to them because for tourists will use this. And then who do you think will be the gamekeepers, the minders, the veterinarians,
The
and all?
cleaners,
The-
etc., etc.
Everybody. So you're
So
going.
everybody benefits.
Everybody benefits. You're creating jobs. You're bringing income. Your development and everything trickles down. And these are regions that we do not even know about. Do you understand? So conserving our gorillas would go a long way to help us. And what do you need to do to conserve the gorillas? Very little. Laws. We have laws, beautiful laws in Nigeria protecting our wildlife. Enforcement is almost zero.
Okay. We have people trying to join the conversation. Let's talk to them.
All right.
0700 993 993 993 0700 993 993 993. By the way, I've got 5,000 naira to give away to 3 lucky people later on the show. So don't go away if you want to win that money. 99.3. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon. What's your name, ma'am?
I'm Esther.
Esther, welcome. What do you think about what you're
Okay.
hearing?
Yes, like you said, you love animals. I just wanted to ask, what about snakes?
Snakes.
Is it proper for people to kill snakes because they are dangerous?
Okay, well, thank you for asking that question. Keep listening. He's going to answer. I don't think we should kill snakes, but what do you think, Dr. Mark?
I find it actually funny she asked that question. Very interesting, actually, not funny. Because I am also an advocate for snakes. We need these animals around us. She made a point that they are dangerous. What if I tell you, ma'am, that it's only about 10-15% of snakes
That are dangerous.
that are venomous and dangerous?
We didn't know that. We don't know that.
So the
'cause
majority
once
of
you see
snakes are
snake,
not.
it's like, but how do you know which one is which?
You don't even need to know which is which. We do not encourage you to play with them or to pick them. Just realize that we need these animals around us and give them the right to exist.
So I should allow snake to
their
enter my
space.
house.
Why? It doesn't want to enter your house. If you see a snake in your house, it's hunting. You have rats. Period. They don't like humans. They
It's
don't
not
have
my
anything.
village people.
No, it's not your village people. You have rats.
It's not my wicked uncle.
No, it's not.
The snake is just coming to hunt
And
my rats.
with the decimation of the snakes around us, we now have diseases born by rats on the increase.
Lassa fever.
Lassa fever killed more people in Nigeria than COVID-19. Do you understand? So we should learn to live with our wildlife. That's what we are preaching.
Okay, let's take a few more thoughts. 99.3, hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. What's your name, sir?
My name is Charles.
Hi, Charles. Welcome.
Okay, so my thoughts is this: we luckily yesterday we had a session. We had a conversation. Are animals stakeholders? That was the question.
Oh, I like
Case
that
study.
question. I like that question.
So everybody had to go into their own focus group to go and check out if animals are case study. And we found out that some people agreed that they are case study. Some people
Yes,
some other people
stakeholders.
said the animals are not stakeholders. Sorry, the animals are not stakeholders. Why? Because they said animals don't take dividend like investors. Animals do not invest capital. Some other people argue that some companies are even going vegan. As in, they don't use animal products in their in production of their own items.
Yes.
So they are becoming compliant. They are now observing. There are certain rules.
Yes.
Preserving these animals, because at the end of the day, it preserves the environment. And I'm so happy to listen to you guys on this, because it also forms part of what I'm going to do right on my research. I'm telling you, thank you.
Charles, thank you very much for calling. Okay, we have to take a quick break, but I want to take messages from social media first. Gorillas and some birds enrich our forests through their activities. This message did not come with a name, but thank you very much for sending it. We've got Tunde from Alakbara who says, if a lion fights a gorilla, can the gorilla kill the lion considering the weight of the gorilla? Interesting question. But again, not the focus of our conversation here, so I'm just going to walk away from that conversation. It sounds like Superman and Batman fight. Who will win?
They are in different ranges, so they won't meet.
We've got
They won't meet naturally.
they'll never see ordinarily.
Yeah.
We've got Akem from Obudu local government who says rosewood is resistant to fire. It fixes nitrogen in the soil. It provides protection to many wild animals. Gorillas open the forest for the sunlight to penetrate into, for the forest, for sun-loving plants to grow and carry out their functions within the biodiversity. Sandra, visit Kenyan forest and see the Cayenne forest and see the Cross River gorilla. Akem, thank you so much for listening. Akem is listening all the way from Obudu local government area. Okay. We've got this message here from Charlie. Charlie says, I'm a graduate of wildlife management from the Federal University of Agriculture, ABAC. Apart from gorillas, Nigeria is the only country in the world that is blessed with a species called white-throated monkeys that can generate foreign revenue. I can totally relate to your guest by the fact that if three of us had booked 3 months ahead, Uganda or Kenya would have made $4,500 from us just to come and look at gorillas for 1 hour. 1 hour. And we're crying that oil is finishing. Look at money. I'm sorry, I'm an Igbo woman, so I'm focusing on that part. We'll take a break. When we come back, Lagos, I'll keep talking to Dr. Mark Ofua. He's a representative from Wild Aid.
I've got 70%.
Get the higher thermal Genpal inverter air conditioner. That's a whopping 70% electricity saver. That's less bills, more comfort. Higher thermal, always there for you.
Under the moonlight, where only prying eyes can see, a king's bride is spotted with someone who isn't the king.
In the thick of the night, when drums and singing pierce the air, a man has chosen his desires over his duty.
In the dungeon of fright, where unspoken things happen, a young boy decides to gamble with his dreams.
3 stories tangled with hard choices. Watch Anikulapo, The King's Horseman, and Far From years home.
Ignition check.
Is your business stuck on the launch pad due to slow and unreliable internet?
Engine on. Check.
It's time to look to the sky.
We have liftoff.
Connect Fixed Satellite Internet is here. With fast, reliable speed up to 100 megabits per second and unlimited usages. Loads of data. It's ideal for schools, merchants, clinics, mines, farms, and all types of businesses from anywhere in Nigeria. It's time to take your home or business beyond the stars with high-speed satellite internet. Visit connect.com. Connect with a K in partnership with Cool Link.
You're welcome. Next person.
Oga John, how far?
Madam Naja, I'm fine. How's your son's leg?
It's better now.
Yeah.
But what are you all doing here in the hospital?
We came to collect our second dose of COVID-19 vaccine.
COVID-19 vaccine for your pregnant wife. How?
Sorry, madam. If I may interrupt you.
Auntie Nurse, feel free.
Thank you. You see, pregnant women and breastfeeding mothers are top on the list of those who should get the COVID-19 vaccine because it will protect them and their babies from getting the virus.
And that's why I brought my lovely wife to get her full protection. Oh, I see. It's at home. Madam Naja, follow no road.
Madam, try and get the vaccine yourself. By doing so, you protect yourself, your son, your whole family from COVID-19. Madam, that Oga knows the right road. You know, go follow who no road.
My name is Dr. Chinonso Egemba, the Aproko doctor. The COVID-19 vaccine is a sure and verified way to protect you and your loved ones from serious sickness and deaths from COVID-19. Simply walk to any healthcare facility near you to get your COVID-19 vaccine for free.
You summon the oracle now. Greetings, my king. How can the oracle serve you? You will tell me the secret to your power. How did that keke move without a driver? My secret is the power of 5G. Tell me more about the power of 5G. With hyper-fast internet speed, slow to zero lag and buffering, multiple connections and quality data sharing, 5G will give you amazing things like remote surgeries, self-driving vehicles, instant file downloads, smart homes. 5G's amazing technology will change the way we experience life and the internet. Get ready to encounter the incredible. And remember, no be juju, now MTN 5G.
There is a new way to move around Lagos. From Lekki to Oshodi, from anywhere to everywhere. The Anaya app. With Anaya, you can book your nearest ride with just a click on your phone. Schedule a pickup for anytime, anywhere. Track your driver on our live interactive map or even share a ride pool to save on travel costs. Try Anaya and you won't go back to your old ways of moving around in Lagos. Get your first ride for free using the promo code FIRSTRIDE. Download your free Anaya app today from Google Play Store or Apple Store or visit anaya.com. Anaya is spelled A-N-A-Y-E-R. Anaya, the power to move.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
I am Sandra Ezekwesili. We're talking about why you should care about Nigeria's gorillas. And yes, Nigeria has gorillas. We're one of the only countries in the world that has gorillas. Right now, they are less than 100. They're called Cross River gorillas. Am I right?
Yes.
And I've got Dr. Mark Ofua, who is a vet, wildlife conservationist who works with Wild Aid. And he's on the show with us today, talking to us about why we should care about gorillas. Now, before the break, we were taking calls. We were taking your thoughts on the subject, and you had really, really interesting thoughts on the subject. So, for instance, I've got this message here from Isaiah. Isaiah is in Lakwe. Like Isaiah says, I love wildlife so much. I wish to work with your guests so he can train me more wildlife. Okay, well, I really hearing this. I don't like to miss the green scene on your station, Mr. Mejekodomi, but I want to ask, won't gorillas hurt people when they are not in cages?
Very interesting. Gorillas, over the years, through movies and all, have been given a bad rap by people who don't think gorillas. Yes. They're very peaceful.
Gorillas?
Yes. Once you threaten them, they really don't care about you.
How does one put threats to gorillas?
Well, when you don't do anything threatening, like try to approach suddenly or go near their infants or something, they just ignore you. The gorilla walk in Rwanda, they walk up to you, actually.
Oh!
Yes, they walk up to you, yes. And they could look, your glasses, beautiful, and come and take the glasses off and look at it.
Oh my
Very peaceful animals. So as long as we don't, and human being, we have this extended capacity for stupidity. So once we don't display that, they really don't care about whether you're there or not. Very peaceful creatures. Yeah.
Oh, I like the idea of them coming to take my glasses. We've got a message here. Please assist. How can I be an active member of your NGO? Okay. We've got a message here. Ifeanyi is saying Sandra is even the best. Sandra, even the best. Is even best. The remaining gorillas should jackpot because it appears. Because it appears it isn't going very well for them. Okay. We've got our friend from Obudu who says, Sandra, do you know that I cry each time that a tree is felled? Due to my knowledge of the fundamental roles that the forest plays in the protection of the biodiversity of the ecosystem, do you know that different trees absorb different carbons or greenhouse gases from the atmosphere?
Yeah.
Yes, that's why people who know plant different species of trees in their natural habitat. Akem, thank you so much for your insights. 99.3, hello. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for calling, sir. What's your name?
Yeah, good afternoon. This is Adeyemi calling.
Adeyemi, welcome.
Yeah, I have a little question for your guest there.
Sure, go ahead.
I used to hear right from during the childhood that when you move closer to a gorilla and if you see your 5 hands, you are having 5 and that is going to break one out of it. I don't know how it's true.
Okay.
Absolutely not true. You've been lied to.
I think they just said that you should not move close to gorilla. And in any case, you're not supposed to move close to gorilla. We've got Azu Frank calling us from Indonesia. Hi, Azu Frank. Good to have you on the show.
Hi, Sandra.
Welcome.
Yeah, I'm good. Listening to your topic, I don't know if I should be sad or happy because I really love that silverback gorilla. That animal is gracious. You need to see the strength and how it moves. The authority it oozes. But Nigeria being what it is now, I went to a zoo or a park and a zoo here in Indonesia, and I saw some animals. And you know what especially the tortoise, they said tortoise from Nigeria, well taken care of. Like, you need to see how they preserved and, they kept those animals. And I asked myself, what can we even just do right? You were amazed with the prices of,
Yes, I was.
Let me blow your mind. Do you know that there's this animal called the polar bears? I think it's just only for China.
In China,
they
yes.
really want to have that animal.
Panda, yes.
They don't even sell it. You know what they do?
They rent it
to other countries. Millions of dollars. They rent it out. Like, you're going to view and see this animal for this couple of years and bring it back to us. They don't sell. Like, there is so much money in animal or this tourism. My question to your guest is, please, let's leave this government and all these laws out of it. What can the private sector do to help? Because I really love animals. If you are waiting for these politicians, all these people, we know them. There's nothing that will come out from it and the government. What can the private sector do to enhance and keep those animals and take good care of them, please?
All right. Thank you very much, Azu, for calling. Doc?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. And I'm excited knowing where you're calling from. Now and then, about 2 or 3 other people called in too and asked, how can I help? How can I join? How can I help?
How can I get involved?
I'm very, very happy to be getting these questions. And I put it to you that this job is for everybody. There's a role for everybody to play. Sandra explained her role already. She granted me audience. Now you have heard, you'd know. I try to think of myself as a preacher for wildlife, a preacher for conservation. Now you have a role to play. Sadly, the politicians are the ones making the laws and that also see to the enforcement of the laws. So we can put pressure to bear on them. And trust me, they would listen because they want to trend. A decade ago, the political mantra for campaign was road, lights, water. That was it, because that was a question that was topmost in our minds. I can almost assure you, campaigns have just started. No politician will mention road, lights, and water because it's no longer topmost. What is topmost? Security.
That's right.
They respond to whatever we put topmost. So by the time we put our environment and the wildlife as topmost, they would respond to it. When in a calling session or something, you ask, what is your agenda for the environment? What is your agenda for conservation? Even if he had none, he would start thinking of something. And then the next time he comes online, he has read something about the environment. And when he wants to act, he would want to do something about the environment. So we all are able to put pressure, support NGOs around you that are supporting these gorillas, this environment. Talk about them, publicize it. The worst form of loss and how it's easier for the thief is when you do not know what you have. If you have 100,000 naira in your pocket and you know, I'm sure when you're working in a, you're conscious of it, you're protecting it. But if you do not know you're carrying money or what you have is valuable, you're careless with it, and anybody can come and rip it off from you.
$1,500 an hour.
You don't even know you're losing,
and we don't know that we're losing.
So it's sad.
Oh my.
So by the time we put this to bear, then we would sit up more to protect our gorillas and our environment.
Now, you mentioned that Nigeria has laws, right? So we've got these laws, we've got regulations. Do we have any that protect the gorillas?
Yes. Now, gorillas are listed as critically endangered, protected by CITES law. CITES is an international convention, and Nigeria is a party to it. So we signed to it.
We signed to a lot of
and then we have actually domesticated these laws.
Okay.
I'm telling you, our laws are amongst the top admired in conservation circles.
I see.
But enforcement is almost zero.
Why?
Because we do not know. And that's where wild it comes in.
Who's we?
Enforcers.
Okay. Who are the enforcers?
Police, customs, law enforcement, Nesria, and all that.
Okay.
They do not really know. The level of training leaves much to be desired.
Right.
Do you understand?
Right.
Now, let me make you laugh. Pangolins are protected to another endangered species found in Nigeria.
Right.
Beautiful creatures.
Right.
Now, the highest seizure in the world of pangolin scales was done in Nigeria, I think about 2018 or so. And it was done accidentally. How? The customs officers received a tip-off that ivory was being kept in the warehouse, and he responded to it. In the same warehouse, there were these bags of something that looked like trash. He just reasoned that for these bags to be in the same place with the ivory, it must be valuable. He didn't know what they were.
Oh.
So he just told his boys to carry. And then en route to the station, somebody comes and say, "Oga, don't worry, the ivory you can take, but these bags, just drop them for us. We'll give you XYZ amount." Millions. And then immediately he heard that, he knew that, these things are valuable. And he said no, he put his foot down. And it was the largest seizure, totaling billions of dollars.
Oh my God.
That was made.
Oh my God.
We do not know then
so
how do we
could
protect?
be making money from the pangolins.
No, we don't want you to.
Like have people to come and look at them
Oh,
too.
yes.
Yes.
In South Africa, to 1 hour, yes, about 1 hour to view a pangolin doing its thing in the natural
Living in
environment.
its habitat.
It's about 50,000 rands.
My God.
That's some good money.
50,000 rands.
Yes, so
to look at a pangolin.
Just to look and go away.
Lagos.
So
look at
you
money.
see, we are losing money from not latching onto ecotourism and exploiting that aspect of our biodiversity.
Okay, I've got information to share with you just before I come to the phone lines to speak with you. And this one is something that will probably make you money as well, while we're looking for a way to get the government to get up. Look away from oil. Look at something else that we have. Yes?
So I know we are talking about gorillas, but let me tell you why you should pay for the drinks that your squad will be drinking this weekend. Because it's cocktail week, guys. From the 14th all the way to the 22nd of October, courtesy of MasterCard, you get to create more priceless moments with mixology at its finest and signature cocktails specially curated just for you at the best bars and restaurants right here in Lagos. So for details on participating bars and restaurants, please visit the website is www.lagoscocktailweek.com. So when next you're out with family and friends, kindly request for the MasterCard cocktail menu, pay with your MasterCard, and trust me, on your way to something truly priceless.
Thank you very much. Let's come to the phone lines now. 99.3. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Auntie Sandra.
Sir, what's your name, sir?
My name is Chike. I'm calling from Ogun State.
Okay.
We're going to talk about wild animals. Somebody mentioned about 50,000 rand to watch a pangolin in South Africa. I don't think it's worth that much.
Okay.
Wildlife being in South Africa is not that expensive.
Okay.
I once lived there.
Okay.
However, When are you doing your question and answer series?
Very
ma'am?
soon, very soon. Keep listening, huh? Very soon. 99.3, hello.
Hello.
How are you, man? What's your name?
I can be on the line.
Ahiwe, welcome.
Yeah, you have spoken about advantage of the elephant talks, and we know they use the cow horns to do birthing. What is advantage of the chimpanzee, the gorillas? What benefit can human being get from them? Because all I know, they attack people in the farm and break their hand, break their leg. That's why the hunters hunt them. And then gorilla, they are of no use to mankind. They are the greatest enemy to farmers. Because I am a farmer. My brother killed one gorilla. And if you go to Edo State market, every village market, they have gorilla meat there. So that's why it's even cheaper than cow. Why not we protect cow and be using it as we want to be using gorilla? The gorilla is of no use. They should be killed. And what of the monkey? Don't we eat monkey? Are they not the species of gorilla? Why would somebody be encouraged what God has cast away? God said that we have power over animal. Now, why friendly with animal that is of no use to you? A gorilla enters somebody's house and took the newborn baby and take it away. Then the hunters start hunting him before they could get the gorilla. He has killed the baby. So let that man tell us.
All right.
One of the benefits or economical profits we get from gorilla, because all I know that the witches and wizards,
oh my God,
they use gorilla to entertain themselves in their witchcraft meeting because it has hands. They is the one that cook the human being, they transform into animal for them.
Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
Thank you very much.
All right, Dr. Mark, you've heard the very passionate submission from the last caller. What do you say?
Now, that is a very, very interesting submission, and I really appreciate the last caller for having the courage to come up to say that. And what she actually mentioned is another thing driving the extinction of gorillas.
Okay.
Farmer-wildlife conflicts.
Okay.
Sadly, there would always be conflicts between farmers and wildlife.
Okay.
You have it with elephants, you have it with lions, because lions will want to, the cattle is easy prey. You know, the same thing. The gorillas, when they see this like a farm of corn, it's food. They see food. They don't see farmland. They don't know you own it. So they will come to raid these farms. And part of conservation of gorillas is actually addressing this problem. There's this program where the government and NGOs, they compensate farmers whose farms has been decimated by wildlife, so that you don't go for revenge. You're paid. Even the Maasai in Kenya, if a lion takes their cattle, they get paid by the government for the cattle. You know, so that is that aspect. But the other things she said about gorillas being ferocious and all that, it's untrue. These are all stories we gave ourselves that we embellished over the years.
Okay.
Yes, if a farmer goes up and a hunter goes up to a gorilla, the gorilla will defend itself.
Okay.
Every way it can.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay.
But if you don't bother them, they won't bother you.
Okay.
And that's the fact.
Okay.
So they are not the terrible animals we think they are. I've stood next to a gorilla before, and it wasn't even interested.
Well, you're here in the studio with me.
I'm telling you, I've hunted with baboons. I followed them into their hunting grounds, their foraging grounds, and I was walking with them, and they ignored me as if I didn't exist because I obeyed the rules and I wasn't a threat to them. So what we have is folklores embellished over the years. And then she mentioned something about a gorilla coming into the house to pick a baby. It is possible, and it's just purely psychology.
Okay.
Maybe a female gorilla lost her baby, stolen by hunters or something, and then she traces the baby and then hears an infant crying. That maternal instinct. I'm sure you've seen on Nat Geo Wild where a lioness adopted a baby antelope.
Yes, I've seen that.
Because I mean, it's maternal instinct that just kicked in. It won't hurt that baby. There was a time in the zoo in the US when a human baby fell into a gorilla enclosure.
I saw, and it didn't hurt the baby.
The silverback protected the baby from the other youngsters that would play rough.
Yeah.
Till the guards came and then handed over to the guards.
Yeah.
So these animals have been given a bad rap. No, they are not witches and wizards. They are not. Owls, cats are not witches and wizards.
I've got 2 cats, and I can promise you they're not witches.
If witches and wizards are real, we humans are the witches. I'm afraid of humans.
Oh my gosh, okay. All right. Everyone is hanging around and waiting for me to give away the money that I have to give. So I have to let you go, Dr. Mark. But before you go, you have to very quickly, your final thoughts on this subject. Because we've covered so much ground. But you have a lot of people like that last caller. We've got a message here that says that last caller is not even laughable, but annoying. Now, wow. We've got a message here. Can this woman... Ooh, no. Yeah, people should be nice now. People should be nice. The Damien says, which does suffer for her hand. This last caller got me laughing like a gorilla in my car. Other drivers kept wondering what was happening. I'm still laughing. It's a very interesting topic. Kazim from Ejigbo. So your final thoughts on this subject and why they are important. Because again, she was also asking, why can't we protect cows, and eat gorillas? Gorilla meat is cheaper than cow meat. Why are we that gorillas serve no purpose for humanity? They fight farmers, they attack farmers. So for people like her, what's your final word for them?
Well, when we started, I mentioned that gorillas ensure the life of the forest.
That's right.
And the forests, we are dependent on the forest. The forest is the lung of the earth. So we want to keep the forest alive. So we need to keep the gorillas alive. And gorillas are also known as flagship and umbrella species, because in conserving the gorillas, you conserve so many other animals that are endangered. Chimpanzees, pangolins, and all, they are in the same habitat with the gorillas. So we need these animals to thrive so that we as humans can thrive. My final thought to listeners today is, up to this point, you've had a group of people, nature enthusiasts, conservationists, protecting wildlife. But right now, the onus falls on everybody, the government, the citizens, you and I, to protect these animals. Because in doing so, we're not doing it for passion, we're doing it for ourselves. We need to be comfortable, to be happy, to survive, to thrive. We are Nigerians, we like proverbs a lot. There's this proverb that says, if all your friends are progressing, be happy and patient because it's coming to you. Now let me reverse it. If all life forms around you are disappearing, be afraid because it's coming to you.
Okay.
Now these animals are going in extinction at a very alarming rate, and it's coming to us. So we need to check the tide. We need to stem the tide and reverse it so that we'll thrive even as they thrive. Dr.
Marco Fua is a veterinary doctor. He is a wildlife conservationist. He is from Wild Aid, and we're going to see more of Dr. Fua because there's so much to talk about as far as conserving wildlife is concerned. Dr. Fua, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much.
All right, Lagos, let me give you money. I've got 15,000 naira to give to 3 lucky people. I think that's what I've got. Is that what I've got?
Yeah.
That's what I've got.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right, please speak into the mic. I know that you are backstage doing chief of staff things, but speak into the mic and tell us how this money is gonna go. Go on.
Okay, so basically.